The king's back. 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 The king's back.
Yo, what's up? What's good? What is happening? Welcome to my live stream. I am the actual King Smith. Let me turn my light on right here. Hey, there we go. And this is my morning vlog where I come on to talk about whatever the funk I want to talk about. Over the last couple of weeks, I would call this the Furlough vlog or something like that. But guess what? I ain't furloughed no more. My behind was told to return to work via a text message last night, which I thought was pretty dope because that means that the system worked the way that it was intended. And I got notified by my agency that I'm expected to work today or be considered AWOL. So this stream won't be that long, as I'm going to have to do some preparation stuff so that I can make sure that I'm not considered AWOL. Shout out to y'all this morning. It is Thursday, December the 13th. I do my Zepbound updates on Thursday. So I'm going to start with that. But before I do, let's see who we got in the building. Shout out to God Happened to Me. Said, good morning. Want to hear the bright thing that I did today? Absolutely, babe. What did you do today? I put my breakfast in the air fryer and I forgot to turn it on. Here's hoping that you have a wonderful day. Thank you. Thank you, babe. You know what surprised me? Yesterday, I didn't do a live stream. I did not do a live stream. I ended up taking care of some things and then going to the gym. And then I received a phone call that was like, hey, man, you ain't live today? And I thought that was dope. I thought that was dope because that means that people do watch and or listen. I had somebody tell me that that's how they find out because they was like, look, I don't watch the news. I don't watch, Fox or CNN or none of them. If I want to find out what's going on, sometimes you'll, cover things. And I'm like, that's interesting. So to the person that called me, thank you. I also got another call where somebody wanted to share some news with me, and I won't share what it is, but to that person that shared that good news with me over the phone, you know who you are. That was some fantastic news that you shared with me, and congratulations. I love it when people have good news to share because I want to see everybody win. King Smith is not a hater, and I want to see everybody win in their own way. And even if I don't understand what the news is, but you want to share, let's say you find out some good information in your job and you just want to share the news with somebody, share it. Share it with me. I'll celebrate you. I sure will. I love to see people win. I love to see people win. I love it when people get good news and it makes them happy. So if you do have some good news, share it. Shoot me a text message. Send me an email. Carrier pigeon. Put it in the comment section. Whatever. I'd love to hear it. Now, let's give my Zepbound update. I still haven't gone under 270 yet. Today is my last shot of the 5 milligram of Zepbound, which I don't think I shared. I changed my shot date. I decided to make my shot date the same day that I give my Zepbound updates, which is on Thursdays. And originally I wanted to do my shot date on Tuesdays so that if there were any ill effects from it, that I didn't have those effects going into the weekend, which I'm typically active in doing things outside of my normal how-to, so to speak. Hold on, let me put this up on the screen. Zepbound update. Let me get this up here. We're going to do it live. Hold on. We're going to do it live.
I can't do it. We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
So, my Zepbound update. I'm still down 18 pounds. I've done 2 rounds of the 5 milligram shots, and I emailed my PCM, or who I thought was my PCM, to ask about when I would go up to the 7.5 milligrams. And I learned something. My PCM, who told me right before she was going on vacation that she was going to be on vacation, and that when she got back, I would set up my follow-up, and then we would talk about how I would go up on dosages and things like that. And I never got anything scheduled from her team or anything. And when I wrote her to say, hey, when am I going to go up to the 7.5? I got a message from my now, I guess, new care team that my PCM ain't coming back. And there was some confusion about how my Zepbound was going to be handled. And I think I covered this on my live stream. I said that my Zepbound was going to be, I tried getting it through the Department of Veterans Affairs as I had it recommended from my community care doctor or physician. And then it turns out that the VA, you got to jump through so many hoops and hurdles to be able to get it that it was difficult. So then, for me, lucky for me, I have TRICARE Prime. And long story short, I was able to get it covered through TRICARE Prime. So I thought that everything was good. It was straight. I wasn't going to have any issues. And when I was trying to get some information about how I was going to go up from the 5.0 to the 7.5, I ran across a slight snag. But after some back and forth with my healthcare team, got everything ironed out. And I'm going to pick up my prescription for the 7.5 on, actually, I'm going to request it tomorrow and see if I could pick it up in the same day or if I have to come back and pick it up on a day next week. So that's what I'm going to use tomorrow to handle, as even though we are going back to work, tomorrow's my off Friday. Yay. I got a video. Let me see if I can play the video. So that's my Zepbound update. I still don't have any issues taking the 5 milligram. A couple of people I know that are ahead of me that are taking the 7.5, they've said that they did have some slight, I'm going to say, stomach issues on the 7.5. So I'm not looking forward to that if I'm going to have issues with that. And my new healthcare team did roll out how they want to handle the going up in dosage, and they gave a pretty good plan going forward, and the follow-up that's needed to make sure that I'm not having any complications or any bad issues while on the medicine going forward. So now I at least have an understanding of what my schedule is going to look like going up in dosage. So that's my Zepbound update. Let's take that off the screen. What's y'all's update? How y'all doing? Let's see. Let me see. Government shutdown ended. All right. So if you haven't lived under a rock, the government shutdown is ended. Yay. All right. Congress has passed legislation to reopen the federal government, ending what was the longest shutdown in U.S. history. If President Trump is going to do something, he's going to break records. In 2019, he had the longest shutdown in history then, which is kind of funny because he's the one before he was elected as the 45th president back in the day that, and I'm loosely quoting him here, where he said that if there was a government shutdown, then it's a failure of the president. And he's had two. Matter of fact, he leads as the top two shutdowns both times as president. So what does that have to say about him? The current legislation restores appropriations for pretty much all federal agencies and extends funding through January 30, 2026 for most. Some agencies have different funding levels to where their appropriations go through. And one of the things that I was curious about is this, that if the government shut down, if the government gets back shut down when the current appropriation ends, what would that mean for me? Well, I did some digging, and I work for the Department of Veterans Affairs. I don't mind saying that. It's on my LinkedIn page. In the link of the description of this live stream is a link tree that has all my other social media pages. None of my stuff's private. I'm a fairly open guy. So I don't mind sharing who I work for and where I work at. But I was curious what type of funding that the VA has. And what I learned, and I believe I'm right on this, is that the current funding that the VA has lasts through the rest of this fiscal year. So even if for some reason the government gets back shut down come the end of this upcoming January, I believe the VA has the appropriations in place to pay their employees through fiscal year 2026, which goes through September. That's the way that I understood it. Do not take my word as gospel. I would say ensure that you're speaking to your supervisor or whoever so that you have an understanding of how it works for you. There is agency guidance that came from OPM that indicates that agencies must activate back pay and other HR processes quickly. What does that mean for the VA? Well, the latest that I saw and read said that the VA is going to start processing back pay for people by this upcoming Sunday, and that most people should receive all of their back pay, whether they were furloughed or accepted, which means you were working without pay or not working, by around November the 19th. That's the text that I saw. I can imagine that some people's stuff might be screwed up. It is what it is. That kind of stuff happens. But under the Government Employee Fair Treatment Act of 2019, which is the law that several people cited when people were nervous about whether they were going to get back pay or not, the government in 2019 guaranteed it back then, but the language around it this time around from Caroline Leavitt and the president and other people was that it wasn't necessarily guaranteed for those that were furloughed. And then there was dissent amongst government employees themselves where they were saying, well, if you were accepted, meaning that you were working without pay, Why should the people that were furloughed who weren't working also get paid? And I would always say, well, what does the current law say? If you got a problem with it, change the law. Look, I'm not going to front. I benefit from it. So I'm definitely happy the way that if you were accepted or furloughed, that you were entitled to retroactive pay for the entire shutdown period. I'm thankful for it. And that law says that back pay must be issued at the earliest date possible after the lapse in appropriation ends, regardless of the scheduled pay dates. Now, this is the current end of the current pay period. If you're a federal employee, you get paid bi-weekly. So this week is the last week in the current pay period, and people would get paid their next pay period the following week, typically on Fridays, but depending on who you bank with, some people get paid up to 48 hours early. I missed, I want to say, what would have been 2.5 paychecks. A lot of money. Or was it 3.5? I think it was 3.5 if you were to count this pay period. So I'm going to have a nice little chunk of change coming back to me. And I still got to pay all my bills. So it is what it is. There was a question where somebody asked, when will we get paid? There is no exact dates. I would say that I was trying to remember how things happened during the 2019, how quick we got our back pay. And I don't remember. I don't think it took that long. But I would say follow up with your HR. Check your HR local payroll office at whatever agency that you work for. I am pretty sure that there's going to be correspondence. If your leadership is good, they should have a town hall immediately on day one. Have a town hall. Get your people together. If you are remote or you have people that work across all over different places and or remote, get everybody together at the same time and talk about the path going forward. I'm going to say that directly to my leaders as I look into this screen. I should put this on LinkedIn. If you are a leader, get your troops together, get your people together, rally the people so that folks can have some type of return to normalcy going forward. I'm going to tell you right now, I am happy to be back to work. I am not looking and not happy to look for the workload that is about to hit my desk because of the government being shut down for this long. Not looking forward to that. That's going to have to be managed in a way that isn't going to drive me insane. But I am happy to get back to work. Absolutely. Also, I would tell people to use this time to really get your affairs in order so that you're not surprised or in a pickle, as the one soundbite I wish I had was like, I'm in a bind, Nate. Get your affairs in order so that you're not in a bind when something else like this happens. Let me come in here and let me check my updates here. It's Darian said, just logged in. I missed the ZEP update. Oh, the ZEP date. I like that. I'm going to call it the ZEP date. Yes, you did. I covered it at the very beginning. It's Darian. Basically, to give a quick recap, this is going to be my last week at the 5.0. I am going to move up to the 7.5 starting next week. There were some issues with that because my healthcare provider team changed and I had to do a little bit of a back and forth. But the lesson in that even is that you should definitely be an advocate for yourself. Don't just give up. It was frustrating having to go have a small little back and forth with my healthcare team to say, hey, that wasn't the plan, because they tried to give me a whole different path to go forward on. And I'm like, no. That is not the understanding that I had of going forward with this medicine. And I gave some pushback and explanation, but everybody finally got on the same page. So I will be taking the 7.5 starting next week. Shout out to Sadani. Said, where am I from? I'm from the United States. Appreciate you tuning in over on Kick. Thank you. Got Happen to Me said, had two, both were the longest in history and the most expensive. And my Nightbot said, have you hit the like button yet? Do it. Do it now. There's a like button on your platform. Do me a favor. Hit that like button. It's Darian said, I also read that taxes and back pay should be taxed at the normal rate, vice a lump pay rate. I hope so. It should be whatever your normal rate was. Absolutely. You know what? I never even thought about that. What's the most advantage rate for me? That's what I want. Give me the tax rate that's more advantageous for your boy. What else happened? The Epstein emails got released. I'm pretty sure some analysts are going to be going through that. The senator that got elected from Arizona finally got sworn in, and she had a lot to say about that. She had a lot to say. Oh, I didn't play my video. Hold on. Let me get the video that I created. How do I add this? Video file. Here we go. Let's play the video.
The furlough is over.
AI didn't create not a single person of color in that video. The Epstein files got released, and nothing, I think, is going to happen from it. Or the Epstein emails, anyway. I don't know what all files encompass these Epstein emails, but they finally got released. People are talking about it. There was a lot of the mention of Trump. The files are released. And some of the early stuff that I saw on Twitter that talked about it was interesting, but I don't think there's anything there prosecutable. Is that a word? Prosecutorial? There's nothing there that's going to be able to catch him on that. If you already had a bad opinion about him, the emails are going to reinforce it. If you're somebody that is a part of the Teflon Don fan club, then those emails aren't going to change anything about what you think about them. You're going to be like, yeah, there's nothing here. See, the blah, 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 blah. And you're just going to support them. I don't understand human psychology on how you could see somebody do something or say something like you can pretty much reach out and grab them by the peace sleeve, and you still support that kind of a person. I haven't seen anything worth support as our president. I can be critical. There are things that he's done and legislation that he supported. There are things that he's done and said that I think are self-serving. TrumpRx.gov is one of them. That's fascinating to me. Oh, off topic. The last penny got minted yesterday. We are doing away with the 1 cent going forward. There will be no more pennies in circulation, and the last penny that got minted is going to be going up for auction, and we're doing away with the penny. To I read something about the cost of the penny. It would take 3 cents. It was 3 cents to make 1 cent. Like the cost to produce it was 3 cents per penny. And apparently the nickel might be next. The last time that the government ended something, there was a half cent that got ended about 200 years ago. And now that the 1 penny has ended, I'm curious what people are going to do with their pricing, right? Things that were $5.99 are now going to be marked and priced at $6. Things that are $1.99 are going to be $2. There's not going to be any more 99-cent stores or anything like that going forward. But that's history. That's something different. If you got some unique coins or unique pennies, save them. Some collector, somebody with stupid bread, might be interested in buying your penny collection if there is something unique about that penny. So if you have a unique penny, or if you see something that stands out, or if you want to start your own collection where you have different years of different pennies and different mint types, buy them up, save them, collect them, hold on to them. Might be worth some money in the future. That is a blue chip for me. If you don't think that I might start looking at some of these coin collection sites and maybe making a small investment in something for myself, you are wrong, because I will be doing that. As Darium said, now the penny will be a collector's item and valuable. Absolutely. And if you are smart, you will definitely be taking a look into some type of investment vehicle around finding something. God Happened to Me said, this administration and leadership have made it clear that they do not care. Nothing will happen. Nothing won't happen. The emails got released. Media and analysts are going to take a look at them. But nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. That fool is legit Teflon Don. There would have to be some type of evidence somewhere, unredacted, holding a smoking gun. I don't know if I can say it live. That can catch him. And I don't think that nothing will. I'm curious if the nickel, because the nickel, they say it takes it's about 8 cents to make a nickel. And if the 5 cent currency is going to go away as well. I think all of the change, like the small, we're seeing a change in our currency, period. Especially with cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is here to stay. We're in more of a digital world now than we were back then. The only thing that really jacks up this whole digital currency thing is when you have some type of malware attack, electricity goes out. How do businesses end up conducting business? For example, I had to take my car in to get some work done at this location, and that service was using the Amazon Web Service, AWS, and about a month ago or less than a month ago, the Amazon Web Service cloud went offline for a bit and had to get fixed. What did the business do? Well, they still did the work and took down my payment information and just charged me like a day later once the system came back online. Can all businesses do that? Can they afford that type of disruption in cash flow? What happens when something like that happens and it's not just a day? It might take 10 days for it to come back up. How's that going to work? What are other countries going to do about their currencies and things that people don't use? I was just in Japan this past summer, and they have bills and then they have coins. And the coins are a bear to keep in contact with. Let me see. Hold on. I was hoping I had my backpack up here. I would have had some of the Japanese yen that I would have shown on air. And there's 500 yen pieces and 100 yen pieces. Let me see. 500 yen, which is a coin, is how many dollars in the US? 500 yen is approximately, at today's pay rate, $3.23. And I like the way that things were priced over in Japan. I felt like things were priced in a way that just made sense. Giggity. Hold on. Get it? Made sense. Anyway. Let me see. Gotta happen to me said his victims aren't made of Teflon, yet by and large, we protect offenders and not victims. I would like to see accountability happen to anybody that has done something and earned the thing. Like the proof is there. You did the thing. The proof is there of the violation. You're held accountable for it. I think that one of the reasons why a lot of our society are emboldened today is that people don't see accountability occur, so they feel as though they can get away with whatever because nothing's going to happen to them. I don't do things because I know that if my ass was out there and I was getting my feet held to the fire, oh, they're going to make an example out of old King Smith. I ain't going to be able to run from it. Not me. Not me. I won't have the same luxuries that other people have to where they can do something and skate by it. That's why I am careful about what I do. I'm careful about my why. I'm careful about, I'm people that know me know I don't speed. Why don't I speed? Because I'm the one that gets pulled over. If I'm going 5 miles an hour and some other car just zoomed past me, for some reason my ass is getting pulled over. People that know me know I drive like Miss Daisy. I used to have a Dodge Charger. I had that Dodge Charger for about 3 years, I think. And in those 3 years, I got pulled over the most in that Charger. Like a SR. Yeah. So it wasn't an SRT. Oh, no. I had the SXT. And it was souped up. It looked nice, but I think it made me a target. Yes, I was heavy-footed in it. Let me just say that. Yes, I was heavy-footed. But I got pulled over on some bogus things a couple of times. But getting pulled over on some of those bogus times taught me a thing or two about the law that I'm grateful for, actually. Like, nothing bad. I never got pulled over and anything bad ever happened or whatnot. But it is my belief now, hindsight being 2020, that I got pulled over some of those times so that the cops could try and find something. But I'm a law-abiding citizen, so you know what? F y'all. Now I drive a Ford Fusion hybrid that even if I try to put the pedal to the metal, it just doesn't have that kind of get up and go like my other car did. So I don't have that same I'm not getting pulled over. And I think that the image of the car that I drive too is one of those that it gives, oh, that's an upstanding citizen versus that dude might be up to something. Shout out to Proto's in the building. Proto 204N4 said, good morning. What's up, G? I appreciate you tuning in. Let's see. This is a bot. You know what? I don't mind the bots coming in. At least bots give me some type of engagement. Shout out to you, bot. Let me give you a salute. Do I have anything else before I have to get off air to make sure that I get to my job so that they don't consider me AWOL? I'm excited about getting back to work. I'm curious what the team's going to do, how my leadership is going to address things going forward. I might have to, I was looking at taking an exam next week that I'm now going to have to take leave for so that I can finish out the exam that I've put off several times. I'm taking the CompTIA Security Plus exam that I should have taken back in February. And I've pushed that thing off and pushed it 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 off. I think like 6 times. I'm not changing it. Let me knock on wood. I feel like with all of these changes, I might have to change it now. We'll see. I need to evaluate if now that I'm going to be back to work when I wasn't sure that I was going to be back to work, if I should push this test off again. Gotta happen to me. If you're still listening, let me know what you think. If you're not still listening, then I'll ask you later what you think. Gotta happen to me is my boo thing, if y'all didn't know that. And while she sometimes doesn't like what I have to say about certain things or whatnot, she thinks that should I say this one? Yeah, like when I make a decision, I don't know how y'all operate. When I make a decision, I've already thought through most things about it. Yet, I'm not going to sit here and say that I've thought through everything. And I do often seek the advice and counsel of my peers or my loved one, or how do I say, people that I just trust in general. I think that any smart person would ask questions and seek the advice of others. I'll post questions here online, on my live, because I'm curious what other people think. Y'all might have some type of information that's valuable that I could use, and I can take that and make a smart decision going forward. So while my lady sometimes thinks that whenever I make a decision is final, no, I can take the advice of others. I just, when I do make that decision, I'll make it. And I'm confident about it once I do it. She said, stop putting it off and just do it. All right. That means I'm going to have to buckle down and get to studying hardcore. And I have less time to do it now that I'm going to have to be going back to my 9 to 5 here. So is it possible? Yes, it is. It is. But it is going to be different. And I'm just going to have to manage it. Okay. Thanks for your counsel, babe. To everybody else out there, I hope y'all have a great rest of your Thursday. I'm going to be live again tomorrow. It is my normal off Friday, so I'm still going to do this live stream every morning at 6:45. Going forward, that's 6:45 Eastern. Was there anything else that came out? I'm curious to see how the government opening back up is also going to impact travel. There were some people that I need to go back and recall that said that we'd be shut down about 50 or so days, plus or minus a few, and I think they got close. I don't think, though, that we're out the water when it comes to how our country's leadership is running the government, and that once we get to the end of January, where the current appropriations will end on some level, are we going to be shut down again or not? And if so, how long this time? Because we'll be past Thanksgiving, we'll be past Christmas and New Year's. Like, those are the two major holidays coming up where people do a lot of traveling and a lot of change occurs. So what happens when we get to the end of January and our lawmakers don't have things to hold hostage? They will have things to hold hostage and no holidays that's going to be holding people's feet to the fire. We'll see. We shall see. Gotta happen to me, has to get to work. She said, bye, babe. All right. Thanks for tuning in. I have to get to work my damn self. Hope y'all have a fantastic rest of your Thursday. There's football tonight in which the New York Jets are traveling to New England to play against the Patriots. And while the Patriots are favored to win by 10.5 points, I might take some money and throw it on the New York Jets. I think I said the Jets. I don't know if I said the Dolphins, but I might take some money and throw it on the New York Jets to win that game and provide the first upset of this NFL week. Y'all have a great rest of your day. My name is TheActualKingSmith, and I'm out. Peace.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Trumpets blare the golden call. A throne awaits, I rise so tall. Drums like thunder, shake the hall. Royal robe, I wear the weight. Diamonds cut the night, no debate. Heavy is the head, but I'm feeling great. Crown me king, crown me king. Horns will shout, let the kingdom sing. Crown me king, crown me king. Bow to the sound, feel the power I bring. I bring.